Okay, in the name of God, this video is an introduction video to the course Calculus 2, which I will be teaching. This course will be recorded for your use using my tablet PC. I have arranged the syllabus plus course description and the chapter notes to be recorded for you here. In this course I'll use Microsoft Office OneNote to give you the lectures. You will be just sitting in the class and listening to my lectures. You don't have to take notes, plus you don't have to worry about the lecture notes. I'll record the lecture notes, I'll give you the video, and I'll give you the lecture notes also. So all you have to do is just come to the computer lab, sit in your chair and listen to the lecture. Syllabus of this course is here. Course syllabus, course policy and syllabus. Semester is fall 2012. Course ID is Calculus 2, or the course code is EF122. Your instructors will be Mr. Mahriun and Mr. Faqiri, and I will be recording your lecture for your use. Your textbook is going to be Calculus Early Transcendental 6th edition by James Stewart. You have this book in the library, and each one of you should have a color copy of it. Office hours will be determined. Our rooms is 116 for Mr. Mahriun and 167 for me. So you can also stop by my office anytime you're available. The prerequisite for this course will be Calculus 1 or EF112, and material to be covered in this course is mostly in chapter 7 through chapter 11, or here chapter 7 through chapter 11. Okay, which includes techniques of integration, application of integration, simple differential equations, parametric equations and polar coordinates, and infinite sequences and series. You also have homeworks in this course. In your textbook, all red numbered problems in each section exercise are homework assignments. This is very important. Okay, keep this in mind. All red numbered problems in each section exercise are homework assignments. Also, students are responsible to solve all odd numbered problems of each section exercise. Help will be provided during office hours. This sentence means that you don't have to solve these problems in a paper and bring it to me. You're just responsible. It's your responsibility as a student to solve these problems so that you can better understand the content of the course. But these red numbered problems are your assignments that I will collect from you. Okay, how will I collect the homeworks? Let me write it here. At the end of each chapter, I will collect the homework for the whole chapter. So totally you are going to have 5 homework assignments that you should submit it to me. Okay, so totally you're going to have 5 homework assignments, 1 at the end of each chapter, 1 at the end of chapter 7 after you learn these topics, 1 at the end of chapter 8 after you learn these topics, 1 at the end of chapter 9 after you learn these topics, 1 at the end of chapter 10 after you learn these topics, and finally 1 at the end of chapter 11 once you learn these topics. For example, in chapter 7, when you learn sections 7.1 through 7.8, you have to submit to me all red number problems of each section. Let me show it to you. Here you have the textbook, for example. In the textbook, let's go to chapter 7, section 1, for example. And section 7.1, in the exercise part, here you go, 7.1 exercise, right here, section 7.1 exercise. All red number problems are homeworks. For example, problem number 3, problem number 15, problem number 17, problem number 20, problem number 35, problem number 47, and problem number 57, and problem number 63, problem number 66. Yes, finally problem number 66 are homework problem. Totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 problems from section 7.1. Okay, so from section 7.1 you have 9 problems to submit. In the same manner, from section 7.2, I don't know how many problems, all red number problems you have as homework to bring it to me. Okay, so I think you should have a better idea of how to submit your homeworks now. Okay, so let's get to the next page. In-class exams. We are on the course policy and syllabus. In-class exams. There will be one in-class exam given throughout the semester. The date for the test will be announced by your instructor ahead of time. Final exam. The date and time of the final exam will be specified later. This is going to be specified by the MOHA, Ministry of Higher Education. Grades. Grade distribution. I have assigned 10% of your grades for the homeworks. So if you bring all of your homeworks, you'll get 10% of your grades. In-class exam. The exam we talked about, I've assigned 20% of the grades. And finally, for the final exam, I have 70% of your grades. So totally you will make 100%. Okay, I hope most of you will get 100% in this course. Changes. The instructor reserves the right to modify the contents in course description. Such changes will be announced in class, and it is your responsibility to follow the changes. Okay, so this was your course policy syllabus. If you have a question, you can ask me at the end of the session. Let's have a deeper site into the course content, which is the course description. Totally, hopefully we will have 14 weeks of lectures, which would make 52 lectures. We have 4 lectures per week, a total of 14 weeks, which make 52 lectures. I will be recording these 52 lectures and it will be available for your use. So in week 1, first lecture, we're going to cover integration by parts, which is section 7.1. And in the second lecture, we'll continue to cover integration by parts, which is again section 7.1. In the third lecture, we'll be covering trigonometric integrals, and in the fourth lecture, we'll be continuing covering trigonometric integrals. So in the same manner, I'll just read the topics which will be covered in this course. For section 7.3, we'll be covering trigonometric substitution. Again, it will be 2 lectures, trigonometric substitution. Then we'll have integration of rational functions by partial fractions, and then strategy for integration, then integration using tables and computer algebra systems. And in section 7.8, we'll be covering improper integrals, and then this will be 2 lectures, then chapter 7 will be finished. On week 4, we'll be starting chapter 8, which is further application of integration. We'll cover area of a surface of revolution. We'll cover application to physics and engineering. Application to physics and engineering, again continued. Differential equations, direction fields and Euler methods. Then separable equations, which is chapter 9. Then separable equations. On the next page, week 6, we'll have models for population growth, linear equations, predator-prey systems, and at this stage, after lecture 23rd on week 6, we'll have a makeup lecture. For example, if we couldn't cover or we couldn't lecture one of the above contents for some reason, unknown reason for now, we will cover it in the makeup lecture. So after section 9.6, which will be the end of chapter 9, we will have our 20% exam. I'll do a review for this exam. Maybe I will not come to the class, but give you a video lecture for this, for the test review, or I will give you a paper which will contain the content of the 20% test. This paper will show which parts are important in the test, so that you could study it better. And on the 26th lecture, which is on the week 7, I don't know which day specifically, we'll have the 20% test. This will maybe this will be in the afternoon, not in the class hour, but on that specific day you won't have a lecture. You're gonna be free. Then after the test on 27th lecture, we're going to have we're going to cover chapter 10, first section, which is curves defined by parametric equations. Curves defined by parametric equations, again 2 lectures. Then calculus with parametric curves, polar coordinates, again polar coordinates, areas and lengths in polar coordinates, conic sections, conic sections in polar coordinate sequences. This is going to be the start of chapter 11.1 sequences. Continued series, continued the integral test and estimation of sums. And finally in chapter 11, finally last page of the course description, week 11, the integral test and estimation of sums, the comparison test, alternating series test, absolute convergence and the ratio test, strategy for testing series, power series, representation of functions as power series, representation of functions as power series, again continued, Taylor and Maclaurin series, Taylor and Maclaurin series continued, Taylor and Maclaurin series continued. Okay, and finally makeup lecture. Again, if we for some reason missed one of the above lectures, we're going to have a makeup lecture so that we could cover the intended material. And finally week 14, which would be the final exam review and the final test. The final test will be comprehensive. Comprehensive means the final test covers all material from chapter 7 to chapter 11. All these materials, all of them. But test 2 will cover chapter 7, chapter 8 and chapter 9. Okay, here we go. As you see in the screen, software is Microsoft Office OneNote. So in this software I have tabbed all chapters separately. For example, for chapter 7 we're going to put up all the notes inside this tab. This tab includes lecture 1, which is section 7.1, and I have devoted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages for this. So what will I do? I'll go to section 7.1 or page 7.1. Okay, I'll full screen it here. In the lecture you will see a screen like this. Okay, I'll explain you the contents of chapter 7, starting by section 7.1. Then I'll go to the next page, which is page 1, integration by parts. I'll write the whole lecture here using this pen. Okay, tablet PC pen, you'll see later. Then if this page is filled, I mean when I write from here up to here, then I'll go to the next page. Then I'll fill this page, go to the next page. I'll fill this page, I'll go to the next page. I'll fill this page and I'll go to the next page, and finally to the last page. And I have estimated that one lecture would take at most 6 pages. So if a lectures go beyond 6 pages, it's simple. I'll insert another page here, okay, right here, and I'll put up the remaining of the lecture. Okay, in the same manner for the second lecture, which was section 7.1 continued. Uh-oh, I think I deleted the wrong page. Uh-oh, yes, I should delete this one. 7, which is 7.1, lecture 2, integration by parts continued. Then I'll have another 6 pages. Same manner for each chapter, everything is set before time. For chapter 9 same way, chapter 10 the same way, chapter 11 the same way. So I'm thinking of giving you the video lectures at the end of each chapter. For example, for chapter 7, when I cover these materials, I'll give you the whole chapter notes plus the video lectures, so that you could go home, watch the lectures, analyze the contents of the textbook, solve the homework problems, try to solve all the odd numbered problems, and get ready for the exam. Okay, so this was okay. Before I end up the lecture, let's talk about the grades. I'll try to post your homework grades and your test grades, and finally your final exam grade here, so that at the end of the course I submit this lecture notes to the department. Okay, I have another tab here for the textbook. Here I have the textbook, so that I can open the textbook anytime I want and go to any section I want. 10.1 for example. Okay, for example, if I need to use a picture, let's say I'm going to use this picture during the lecture, so I'll snapshot this picture, go to OneNote. So I was in section 10.1, right? Section 10.1, for example, here, start of the lecture. I'll paste it here. Okay, right here, you'll see it. And I'll try to paste all the pictures at the right of the page here. These pages are set as portrait A4 pages. Okay, they're portrait A4. So I'll put the pictures here at the right, so that I could write to the left of the picture. This way you can better understand the content. Okay, so that was for the textbook. I'll get out of full screen. That's in section, okay, here, textbook. Okay, textbook's here. Please try not to distribute these notes to everybody. This is just for your use. This is just for the students of engineering faculty of Kabul University. So I'm going to end this introductory lecture video right here. If you do have a question regarding this lecture video, you can ask me in the next lecture. Okay, see you later.